Yeah. On and.
We got 2 minutes.
There's going to be a lot of issues with that. because
Yeah.
Are they going to say you can't use AI in your research?
Well, I think it needs to be vetted.
You know,
Yeah.
There's a lot
it
of,
should be cited.
Right. Yeah.
not even that, just to validate it. There's
Right.
a lot, they make up facts, they make up sources.
Well, and the interesting thing is, at least this is true with ChatGPT, they always say AI can be wrong and you need to check your resources and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh,
You need some help? Bringing in the wagon. Is that gonna work?
yeah.
She's gonna have to lift it up.
Or take the handy camper.
Oh, yeah,
the
she
other
can take the
way.
handicap.
Oh, I get stuck in there.
Okay, how we doing? 8:59. Squeaky wheels? I don't know. Who is it?
It's
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it might be, yeah.
okay. Well, that's next.
Yes. Thank you.
Well,
Okay. This meeting is called to order. And the first item of business is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. You looked at those?
yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty short, sweet.
Yeah, there wasn't much to that. Go ahead and sign those if you think those will be accepted without changes.
Tell me to sign it.
Yeah.
Care for it with your pen that works.
I don't know if I got.
See
the
if it
right
works.
one.
Nope.
Oh,
I better go throw that one away.
I got a few over here if you want to try.
Hey,
Which color would you like?
I might have to go with purple today.
I'm like, you wish.
Okay. Next item of business is review the municipal candidates ballot.
So what you have is, I have included the full list of every candidate that filed for the municipal offices. However, we're only looking at the names that will actually appear on the ballot. So
Okay.
for a general election, if you are unopposed municipal race for city attorney or city council member, your name does not appear on the ballot.
Can you tell
So
me where this?
yeah, it will.
I have.
So the yellow ones
I went back.
are the ones that will appear,
Yes.
plus the green one.
You start with Beaver Water District.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Sorry.
So this is the list that we get from the county clerk's office. This list is not certified. So this is still just, we're in the process of looking.
Oh.
The names in green, that is an unopposed name, but that is a required name to go on the ballot. And then you'll see the other offices. As you look down, Justice of the Peace, for instance, JP District 3, that is unopposed. That name will not appear on the ballot. County Sheriff, County Coroner, none of those names will appear on the ballot. These names in the first part of this, we have already looked at when they
Mhm.
previously filed for office. So really, it would just be the municipal names.
So the yellow indicates a
Has to be in the ballot.
Yes,
be on the
yeah.
ballot, and
And I alternated yellow and blue, both yellow and blue
Oh,
will be on the
gotcha.
ballot. That just made it easier to see
Yeah.
the
okay.
different races.
the green is
Unopposed, but required to be on the ballot.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know Woody Bassett was the director of the Beaver Water District.
He has been for quite a
Probably a
while.
long time.
Yeah.
I just never noticed.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hmm.
When will the clerk certify this?
So the clerk will certify this to us on the 20th.
Okay.
The same,
20th?
yeah, the same time frame that the Secretary of State's office certifies. And part of the reason why we're continuing to say this is not certified is a municipal candidate could decide to withdraw
Oh, yeah.
between now and that certification time. And so we would be able to remove that name
Mhm.
from the list without any issues. So, yeah. And this program that the clerk has, that you see these names, it is a very, very old program that the
Ah.
clerk has. So if you'll notice, like this municipals aren't in alphabetical order,
Mm.
it's just kind of random, but it has worked for many, many years. So, yeah. And when we went through the names as they were coming in on their uh, sheets, we didn't find any names that would not have been eligible to place on the ballot. So everybody who has a title in front of their name that is going on the ballot, that title is eligible to be placed on the ballot.
And one more time for slow people, if they're not highlighted, they're not
Not on
on
the ballot at all.
For the next go around, would it be proper to provide some guidelines on the names because they're all so different?
So we can't,
Okay.
so every candidate that runs for office gets what's called a running for office handbook.
Mhm.
And even if you'll look on their printing a ballots form, like on one of their
Mhm.
things, it talks about how
Mm.
they're to do things. So we have no control over that as they're filing. So yeah. Now, legislatively, could legislation be enacted that would say if you are a city council member, it should always be council member as 2 words? Because we have it as 2 words, 1 word, councilman, councilwoman. There's variations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, and it's the same thing with, our state representatives that are running. We have some that are state representative. We have some that are representative. Same with state senator. So there isn't,
There's no standardization
No.
at this
Isn't that
point.
something the state election commission should probably
It would-
delve into that? That way they kind of laid out every county's the same.
yes. I know that they had talked about making more of a standard rules.
Yeah.
And definitely, I think how the titles are on ballots
Mhm.
could be more standard because you'll have in representatives, we'll have some that say state representative, some that just say representative.
Yeah.
Mm.
For justice of the peace, for instance, we have a justice of the peace that puts it after the name
Right.
and not before the name.
When
So
you just use representative, is that like, is that US representative or state
Mm.
representative? That's the
It's a little ambiguous.
And from a
too
system
ambiguous.
Yeah.
standpoint, it sounded like it would make it easier to have everything standardized.
it would be for proofing because, especially because when we're proofing, we have to go back and say, oh, wait, did they
Yeah.
actually put state in front of it or did they just put Senate
Yeah.
in front of it? So it does definitely impact.
Lower your workload.
Mhm, it does.
little bit,
It does
anyway.
impact.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But as it stands, there are no names or titles that are being used that are not eligible. And then we've included their sheets.
Okay.
if you wanted to glance through there, but we haven't seen anything. The other thing I would ask, if we're gonna like standardize things,
Mhm.
I would love to see this form where they actually have to fill it out online, not turn it in online,
Mm-mm.
but fill it out, print it, and then sign.
Mm.
We have been deciphering
Oh,
handwriting.
especially,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This is really pretty. I love this. I love this
So-
handwriting.
So some of them are really easy to read. Others,
Yeah,
you're
not so
kind of
much.
deciphering how, especially when it comes to when we're putting their name on the ballot.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, you want it to be very clear how that name is spelled.
Mm.
So I'm not saying you file online. It would just be nice if it was printed and then
And
signed.
give them a fillable PDF.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that something we can ask? Because this form is from the clerk's office,
So
correct?
this is from the Secretary of State's
State's
office.
okay.
So this would need to be kind of like a legislative packet, and it
Got
could
it.
be all part of a standard, you know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
standardizing elections.
Okay. And
Is there any possibility they're gonna do that anytime soon?
So we'll,
Not before this election.
no, we will start a new cycle in January. So this definitely could be
No.
something,
Yeah. Sure.
I'm
to
gonna take
pursue.
this, I'm gonna take this to our legislators and tell them
Okay.
they need to do is direct the state election commission to standardize this stuff.
Yeah.
Do we need to put a packet together or how does that work? And
So-
or what would you advise?
So so one of two things. One, the State Board of Election Commission will run a certain set of
Mm.
or law changes. Those law changes are typically like cleanup, and this could be
Right. This could
considered
be
cleanup.
considered cleanup, yeah.
And so certainly this might be something that the state board might take as part of their packet. If the state board doesn't have the time, because whatever packet the state board runs, they have to get the governor's permission to run that packet. They can't just step out because they're a board. So
Right.
they just can't step out on their own and try and make election legislation. But we, as an election commission, have in the past can go to a representative or a state senator and ask to run
Yeah.
legislation.
Yeah.
And we
And
have done
and
that.
the sooner the better, because
Yes.
by November, they're already getting their packages together
Right.
on what they want to
Right.
run.
And there are certain rules. So for instance, you can use a nickname.
Mhm.
You can use your elected title. Certain individuals, though, that are appointed are not allowed to use their elected title, but certain judges who are appointed are allowed. So there's,
Mhm.
it kind of
The
is
rules
all
are
over
not
the
clear.
board. Yes.
And that's why we have to review these.
But like I said, when we went through, we didn't see anything in it that the commission needed to say, no, that can't
Right,
be on the ballot.
okay. And this is just a little spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's just the spreadsheet that we've been entering.
Okay, double check.
Yeah.
Okay. These are all the,
And as you'll go through, you'll see the handwriting
Yeah.
and, just kind of,
the fax machine there,
Yeah.
printer.
I really think you can take it. I think the fillable PDF form, I think that's an easy fix if the state would allow it.
What would you think about fill it out and then you either have the Well, you could print it and then also submit it too, right back to. the-
Online,
You can do a signature in a
Yeah.
PDF.
So I think that's gonna be,
That's
get
good.
into a whole wet
Mhm.
signature versus,
Versus, yeah.
yeah. And so far, they
They're-
don't
they're
allow
all wet.
wet signature. I mean, they require wet signatures for certain
Okay.
things.
Print it, send it in.
I would
right?
think this would be something you would want wet signatures for.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah.
They do it.
See, I knew AOL was still a thing.
What?
I knew AOL was still.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Somebody's using it, huh? Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Just for, you might want to get a backup email.
Just in case.
There are a few emails in here that we will call and get alternate emails. If they've used a city email. We
Yeah,
don't-
that's what I was,
Yes.
like this one, it says mayor at,
Yes,
and I thought,
yeah, we'll,
you legitimately?
we will contact those
Okay.
candidates and ask for an alternate email.
Oh,
Anything with the .gov.
Yeah.
And I know it's not our responsibility, but I appreciate you taking the time and
Yeah.
effort just to keep everybody on the same page.
and this is Washington County Clerk.
Well, as we look through these, we're just basically acknowledging these.
If there was one where the commission needed to make a determination on could that title be used, then I think there would be something for the commission to do. But as it is, I think these are just pretty standard.
Are
Excuse me.
looking at.
And we will notify every candidate that is in a contested race when the ballot draw. We will send out emails
Okay.
to every candidate so that they know.
How many does it look like right now? Or just ballpark?
Quite a few. The at least 20 or more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a full house again.
20 or more, what? I'm sorry.
Offices that are up for election.
Oh, okay.
So times 2 plus a couple, because
Yeah.
there's a couple that have multiple candidates for
Yeah.
the same position.
Y'all didn't see any issues with these other than the sloppy handwriting?
Nope. Was it?
Well, you know, I can't ever talk about anybody else.
I'm not saying that I have good handwriting. I'm just saying when we were trying to
Yeah.
interpret
Yes.
the spelling of a name or even the
Yeah.
addresses and stuff, sometimes we were like, okay, we think that's correct. So, yeah,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like I said, I don't think there's any action necessarily for the commission to.
Okay. Well, we'll save those for later then. Ballot layout.
So,
Oh,
okay.
absentee ballot instructions. Okay, gotcha.
So for the ballot layout, when we're laying out the paper ballot, which is in essence the absentee ballot, because that's the only one that receives that ballot.
I got it.
We have included the instructions. So this first page is the instructions blown up so you can actually read them.
Okay.
Compared to on the second page. The second page shows you how it will appear on the ballot. These instructions only appear on the absentee ballot. They don't transfer over to the express vote. So the change we made for this election was to include the fact that these are absentee ballot instructions. And the rest of the verbiage, with the exception of the bottom box, the verbiage in box 1 and box 2 is required. The instructions we did in the bottom box is really just kind of a continuation of the absentee instructions. Like, hey, put your ballot in the ballot only envelope. Don't forget to send in a copy of your ID or check your ID requirements and make sure it's returned by the deadline. But The only difference between this and what we've been doing in previous years is I went ahead and asked the title to be changed to absentee ballot instructions, and that makes it very clear that these are instructions for the absentee ballot.
Yeah.
But any changes that we've kind of made in the layout of the ballot, I want to bring to the commission so that you
Mhm.
guys are fully aware of those.
That's a lot clearer than what I used to get.
Yeah, we've worked over the
And I
years.
never voted absentee here, but, other states, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
We've worked over the years to try and expand and
Mhm.
try and, do what we can.
Refine it
Yeah.
each time.
Mhm. So, but the second ballot is just so you see that how it kind of lays out
Yeah.
on the ballot. The reason for the narrowness and smallness of that space up there is in part, though, we need every bit of landscape that we have
Yeah.
on the ballot.
Are-
So,
Are we doing,
These are the.
is this the actual size?
oh, no,
Okay.
this just, it'll
Okay.
be.
Is it 1114?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an 11 by 14, but
Gotcha.
but what I'm asking you to look at on this one is just, hey, this is what we're doing.
Mhm.
This is the information. But yeah,
Okay, you've gone through all of the various ballots, and so far you're not finding one that bleeds over to the second page.
so we have back pages. Every ballot's going to have a
Okay,
back page,
'cause it's-
but
yeah.
we don't have a 2-sheet ballot.
Oh,
We
good.
only have a
Good.
1-sheet ballot.
So no, well,
No,
what you're saying then is there are bleeds over, but
yes.
it it's not a problem with the issues.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
good.
What I was more worried about is us having 2 sheets.
Yeah.
2 sheets always causes problems.
Yeah.
A front and back ballot is normal,
Yeah.
but the 2 sheets causes issues with someone not returning the second sheet, not realizing that there is a second sheet. So with every ballot style that we have, Springdale is our biggest ballot this year. And it fits very
Good.
easily on 1 sheet of paper.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I reading this correctly? There are a total of 4 measures referred to the people by the General Assembly.
Yes.
I thought they had a rule down there. They only
So-
sent out 3.
So there
Is
are
that,
3. We'll get into that when we get into state issues. There are
Okay.
3, but this one is a bond issue.
Oh.
oh, so it doesn't count?
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Hmm.
So.
There's always wiggle room.
Yes.
So, but basically, we just wanted to let you know if you're okay with that we've added that title,
Yeah.
absentee ballot instructions
Oh,
on that one.
I have no problem with that. Do we need a motion on that?
No.
Okay.
it's,
Just
I
acknowledge
I
that.
like the big bold print.
Mhm.
Okay, so
And the order will stay as such.
no, this is,
Okay.
okay, so when we're looking at these ballots, we are only looking at layouts.
Okay.
Yes, because we haven't done the ballot draw yet.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so,
So we'll redo the ballot draws for these, like the nonpartisan ones.
no,
No,
they stay.
they stay, okay.
Nonpartisan and school will
Okay.
stay from the order in which they were from the
Yeah.
primary, because they're
Okay.
considered a runoff. Okay. So the next set of ballots that we're looking at is for unopposed candidates. Now, when we go through the unopposed candidates, there are several state offices that are unopposed, and there's 1 county office that's unopposed. In the past, we have just, if you'll see on this very first ballot, that says unopposed candidates mixed with contested races. In the past, we have just kept them intermixed. So like when you get to Attorney General, it's just in there as unopposed with no disclaimer that, hey, there is only supposed to be 1 candidate. So he's in the second column.
Mhm.
We think the layout looks better if you go to the second ballot where it says unopposed candidates listed together, where we list all of the contested races. And then we list the unopposed candidates with a header that says they're unopposed and list them all together.
Hmm.
We think that layout for the voter as they're voting will make more sense and will not raise the question of, was there supposed to be
Yeah.
another candidate in there?
No, I like it. I think it's clear. I think less questions.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still gonna get questioned.
We'll still get questions,
Less, I said
but
less.
this is the first year I felt like when we were building this ballot that we had several unopposed
Mhm.
state offices that needed to be on the ballot. And so I just thought this cleans the ballot up, makes it very clear that these candidates are unopposed on the
Yeah.
ballot.
I've voted absentees from overseas
Mhm.
several times. Is my ballot shows up and it's obviously been abused in the system, mail system.
Oh,
Because it's handled a lot, it goes through a
Mhm.
lot. Would it be acceptable or possible to have a phone number that, I could call you from Germany
oh,
and say, hey, this happened to me, or this thing arrived torn or something like that?
Yes, on the voter statement that is included with the packet,
Okay.
that contact information for the clerk's office is always on there.
Either that or an email.
Yeah. The nice thing now for our military overseas is they actually receive an emailed ballot to them.
Oh, okay.
So and that's, I mean, since maybe 2016, 2014 or so,
Okay.
there's an email process. Now, they cannot email the ballot back.
Yeah.
They must mail it back, but it gets the ballot to them instantly.
Okay.
And there's, like you said, there's not any destruction of the ballot
Yeah,
or
okay.
anything like
So
that.
do they print it?
They print it out
Okay.
and then they mail it back to us.
Okay.
And we have the full list of everyone that receives emailed ballots.
Right.
And we have, when it was printed, like there's a whole security system
Okay. Right.
behind how those go
Okay.
out. But yes, but on the voter statement, there are instructions on what to do. And we've had voters who have gotten their ballot at home and have inadvertently destroyed their own ballot by
Oh.
spilling coffee on it, or,
Yeah.
just, and had to contact the clerk's office to
Yeah.
see what to do. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that was directed at me. That's my own person.
So,
Sorry about that.
so the commission, there's no objection to us putting the opposed candidates in their own column.
No, I thank you for your foresight in doing that because I think it looks a lot better. It's cleaner. I like the colors of it too.
Mhm.
I think, and I still like the fact that you have the option. You don't have to select this. It says vote for one.
Right.
You don't have to select that candidate.
Yeah.
There's one option.
I didn't realize.
Now,
But I like that.
Running for
Yeah, I saw
constable.
that.
I didn't know that.
Now, this list of unopposed candidates is for state and county only. If you look at the next page, which is Goshen City 1,
Oh.
for the mayors that are unopposed, we will leave the mayors underneath their city heading. So mayors
Okay.
won't go into that big list,
Okay.
but they will go in under their heading for their city. So that will be the only exception for the unopposed. So you see where that city of Goshen
Mhm.
and then the mayor and then the city council starts after that, because that's kind of the order of how that went. So that would be the one exception.
And that one does push over to the next.
It does push over to the next.
But it's still front and back.
It's still
not,
one
Right.
sheet.
it's not two.
Yes, it's still one sheet. So,
And the darker shade, the shades of gray, that stays, like that's on the computer screen. It does appear to be a darker gray. And then,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Never
They
remember.
actually look better when we actually print them on the BOD.
Yeah.
They look a lot cleaner. So,
Sharper.
but right now we're just kind of looking at that flow because my hope is after we do the ballot draw, the commission we've reviewed this and all we're having to do is put the
Slot 'em in
candidates
the right place. Yeah.
in the right order. Then the only other thing for unopposed candidates, you'll notice we still are required to have that little place for unopposed candidates vote for all. For the primary, we did not put any extra language underneath the for all unopposed candidates because that ballot was so tight. We had no space to spare on the Fayetteville ballots. We have added language to this that is similar to what we have used in the past, except I did change it up just a touch. It says unopposed candidates for all offices not listed on the general election ballot shall be declared and certified elected without the necessity of including those names on the general election ballot. That is language that we have created to add to the ballot. We do not have to put that on there. The law doesn't require it on there. It's kind of an explainer. So I can do one of two things. I can totally remove that language and put it on the express votes because we put notices on the express vote and put it on the express vote along with that QR code that takes them to see the
Oh, yeah.
full list.
Yeah.
And that way there's no question, like, do we put this on there? Are we allowed to put this on there? And we have done it in previous elections, but that doesn't always mean that
Right.
we should have done it in previous elections. So I can remove this, like I said, completely off the ballot. And then the only thing will be that unopposed candidates and for all unopposed candidates. That's what is required by the law.
And these are absentee.
But this
So
will also appear on the express
On
vote
the-
ballot. Yes.
it would, if you moved it off of here, it would appear on the express.
No, it
Oh,
will
it would-
remove it. Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
removes it across the board.
Okay.
You can't, they all have to match.
Yeah.
Well, except for the ballots you have you have to put them in order in case there was a runoff.
But if,
Those are special
Okay, the
ones. Yeah.
special ones, okay.
but if you remove it from here, you can still use the QR code so that people will be able to say, well, I don't know who the unopposed
Yes.
candidates are.
Yes. And then all we have on here is just that for
Yeah.
all unopposed candidates,
Okay.
which is what the law says.
Mhm.
And then that way it's nice and clean and we haven't kind of
Mhm.
done anything outside the box.
Is there a problem with leaving that on there?
There's no,
And you have room this time.
we have room this
You
time.
have this
yeah.
room this time,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it just kind of explains,
Mhm.
I think, and educates a little bit.
I think so too.
Some people out there getting a free run.
So I think it explains and we have done this in previous elections, so this is not new. So
I think if you have the room, I think that would be my
Yeah.
main concern. Is if there's room that allows for this, great. If there
Mhm.
wasn't, then I would
Yeah.
probably remove it.
okay.
I agree.
And then does that language sound, because this is
No, I think.
me coming up with this language.
I think it's okay. My reservation would be with the wording of general election ballot. Because there's going to be somebody who's going to go back to what is the general election ballot, which up here at the top of the page, you have official ballot, general, nonpartisan, judicial. You're not going to want to do all that.
We could
But
stay
just
listed on
official ballot.
On the official ballot?
or
Yeah.
this ballot.
You could say this ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could say this general election ballot.
Yes, yes, just
Okay.
that change in the word. And then I guess repeat that at the end on this general
Yes.
election ballot.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. So the next part is the express vote ballot. So there are a lot of names that are printed out on the ballot. If we use, I know this one doesn't, if we use the small font and keep a space between each office, when the ballot actually prints, this is what it prints out as, and it is really hard to see. If
It's
we,
pretty large.
yes, if we use
Oh.
the medium print, but no space between the offices, the ballot is actually easier to see the candidate's
You
name.
got to kind of underline too, so you can kind of
Yeah.
follow.
So this would be, we obviously prefer this one because the other one in certain light
Mhm.
is almost impossible to read. But we can't go large because there's too many names that they won't fit printed out.
There's no way to darken this.
No,
Wow.
so that's what started me down the road of trying to figure out how this was going to work.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, oh, well, maybe we can't, there's no way. So our option really is that one, which I think is really hard to see, or this
Mhm.
one, which while the offices and names are tight,
Mhm.
it is more easy to read.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about elections is the conspiracy people who think that whatever you do, you're trying to make it harder for them to read, to see, to vote.
Yeah.
And if you've got this one and it's so light,
That was my
Yeah.
major fear is that voters are going to, because we even thought, okay, we're going to need to put magnifying glasses on every express vote.
No,
so they
I
can
mean,
see.
Let me,
I was gonna
draw
joke
your
about that.
attention.
but no,
This
This
is
is,
this is Commissioner State Land.
some of the lights at some of the
That's-
polling places
okay.
are not
Oh,
as
Kim
bright
Hammer.
as this.
that's true. Yeah.
Then
Because we're all,
Secretary of
because
State,
it
who
is
is
till 7.
Cole
Mhm.
Jester,
Mhm.
is that, should that be back?
No,
That-
so this is the office.
Mhm.
This is the
See?
candidate you voted for.
Can you see
Commissioner
it?
State Land.
No, I mean.
And then they voted for, we
But-
voted a ballot.
Oh, okay, because I guess I'm saying is, okay, so this is saying I voted for Cole Jester
Mhm,
as
yes.
Republican Secretary of State. I just didn't understand why it was set over here and these are set over.
Yeah,
there.
that's the formatting. There's no,
You don't control
we don't
that.
control that. There are certain things we don't have any control over.
Okay,
There's a lot of things we don't have any control
Yeah.
over.
Let's not go there.
Definitely the software does
Sorry.
not allow.
finding out more and more every day.
The software does not allow
Sorry.
us. Yeah.
No, not my first
Try,
choice.
well, try this one, see if you
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, now I can,
And you left
See,
or
and on
just like
this
it was,
one,
yeah.
see, there's the
Yeah.
difference. On this one, it's much farther over.
Yeah.
And so it
Okay.
is
That
clean.
makes more sense.
But this one is so hard to read. I prefer that one.
Is there an option to go up one more font on there?
No,
That's it?
when we get to the Springdale ballots, there are
Oh.
too many names to
Oh.
print
Yeah.
on there.
so then our other option would be to go with a longer,
So if we went with a longer ballot, that would require us to order all new ballot stock. And we would also have ballots, because we have ballot stock
You'd
already.
have to have both on every.
No,
location.
you could, well, you can only use one ballot stock. So
Oh.
we would have to replace every bit of our ballot stock, which would be quite expensive.
Yeah.
And we try to use the same size ballot as our neighboring counties, because you can't just
Right.
go to the store to get
Yeah.
ballot stock. And that way, if ever in a bind,
You
we can borrow from a neighboring county if we
Okay.
needed ballot stock. So yes, that is an option, but I don't think we want to replace all of our ballot stock.
Oh, that would be thousands of, I
Oh,
mean,
thousands of dollars. That could be 20 to 30,000.
and that would happen if we chose to go up the
Yes.
larger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that wouldn't be real efficient for very many elections even.
It's not, that's the problem. I really think that once you settle on a ballot size, you should just stay with that because because your ballot stock, you don't use it all in that election.
Mhm.
So then you constantly have different sizes of ballot stock. And so, yeah, so.
No, I'm just thinking about some of the polling locations. They have different levels of lighting. It's till 7 o'clock at night. That would be not even just for the voters, just like everybody. I think it's going to
Right.
slow down the process.
Yeah.
It's just too many obstacles in a person's way. I think keeping cost and efficiency and processes in mind, I think this is completely fine for what we need it.
So,
I have to think about that, going forward, though, 2 years from now.
Mm.
2 years, it's interesting though, 2 years from now, while it will be a presidential race, we'll actually have fewer names on the
Yeah.
ballot because the
Sure.
state offices aren't on the ballot or the county offices.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it fluctuates in needs. While that is a bigger election, the ballot actually is smaller. So, the next page for the express vote ballot, they, one of the things that we did for the primary and one of the things that the state kind of encourages, the state board encourages is that they want us to center the candidate names.
Oh.
When we centered the candidate names, if you look at Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, okay, this is not centered. It looked funny, like because the governor was centered and then her name was centered. So we made the compromise of just scooting the names over because we feel like it lines
Funny,
up better. The idea is that the name is not directly underneath the little box because everybody tries to touch the little box and then that messes everything up. So we won't be centering the names. We're going to though scoot them over so that they're not underneath the box.
Okay. Question, county assessor.
So we're just
Oh,
looking.
okay.
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute.
So when we run this program, we actually have to hook it up to a different monitor. And
Oh.
we forgot to do that. But I was like, oh no, but all we're looking at on this sheet for you guys is
It's
just that
okay,
I
move
pushed
them
the
over.
names over and that it's,
I like it.
yeah, we thought it looked really good.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So,
And it doesn't mess with anything else with spacing or.
nope,
Okay.
no, everything else is good, but, and these are all the like things that as we're laying out the ballot, we're having to,
Mhm.
think about, because you're thinking about the public voting
Right.
and like how easy is it for them to read? Now, we will be using the yellow and the
Oh, good.
gray
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
I think that makes it easier to differentiate on the screen.
That's good.
So, okay. And then candidate names. Okay. So this first long sheet is what we actually will end up sending to every candidate that their name appears on the ballot. This is because it's not, we can't send out all 320 ballot faces. So we send out this report. What this report does is it shows how their name will actually appear on both the absentee ballot and the express vote ballot. So when you see like that NL under like the congressman there, that means that congressman's going to be on one line, Steve Womack's going to be on a second line. Okay.
New line.
It shows their party, so they can confirm that we have them aligned with the correct party. That becomes important because if you look over in the next column, see how it prints out DEM or REP in front of their name. That's what prints out on the reports and on the express vote ballots. So you want that to print out properly next to their name. Now, where we're running into problems is on the reports that print from the DS200. When you look at the governor's name, her name is too long.
Mhm.
So when you look, if you look at the second page that I have, you'll see, if you were to look at the first report, it cuts off her name. So for all the candidates where it cuts off their name, we go back in and do abbreviations.
Okay.
So we need, and we're allowed by law to do these abbreviations, so we're not changing anything, but this will let them know that we have abbreviated their titles only. We will never abbreviate their names, but their titles.
Okay.
This will show them how we have abbreviated their names.
So essentially, they're all going to know ahead of time.
Yes.
And do they have to approve it? Okay.
No, this is just the commission has to let them know that this is what we've done.
Gotcha.
And so I wanted to show you why we do this. Now, Representative Worthen,
Mhm.
in the past, we have used REP for rep. Her name takes up every bit of space, so we have to use RP. We can't use REP, otherwise it cuts off the end.
Just that one letter.
Yeah, just that one letter. We counted.
So
So
use half spaces between her
it, yeah,
first and
we-
middle name.
So
Oh, man.
what we have done, because we used RP in front of her name for every state rep that we had to shorten their name, we used RP so that the whole tape will be consistent.
Okay.
JP, we use JP.
Yeah.
And so RP will be for rep. When she originally ran, she didn't have representative in front of her name and her name barely fit in the box. And this go round, we were counting out the spaces. So yeah. So. But they will get this. We also will have this available when the candidates come for the ballot draw.
Okay.
My plan is to have posted sample ballots so that all the candidates can actually see how their name appears on the ballot when they're here for the ballot draw. So
Okay.
if there's any questions, they can raise it right then and there, and then we'll have these available for them too. The only thing that will change is this column that shows the order in which their name appears.
Oh, right.
Obviously, that changes after the ballot draw.
Well, and it does say above Representative Worthen, State Representative,
Yes.
District 9.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there's not confusion.
There's not, but we are required to send out notice that we are abbreviating their titles.
Send that to the candidates.
Yeah.
So the governor will get one for every county. So get that notice. Because it'll
okay.
be.
No, some counties, ES&S is not always so thorough to go through and do this. So some counties will just leave it as
No.
that. It-
Oh,
Yes.
it'll just cut off her name, like it is what it is.
So, but we have learned as we proof, you must proof the tapes.
Yeah.
And the tapes, I feel like, are where you find your
Mhm.
mistakes
Mhm.
and you find your things that you need to look for. So, yeah, so,
So she'll definitely get ours and maybe a
Yes.
few other counties.
yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. So now one county I did see when we were doing the audit, what they did was they just removed the titles from every
from the-
candidate.
From the tapes?
Mhm, yes, but I prefer to abbreviate the titles, rather than just remove them completely. So, yeah.
I can see why they do that because they have the title beginning, but
Right.
there's so much going on, so much data. I like the titles.
Yeah,
in
I
here,
do
even
too.
if it's abbreviated.
Well, and you need some consistency in how you do it. too.
Right. So what we did was, like I said, since we had to do hers with RP,
Right.
every other rep that we had to shorten, we did RP. So it's consistent across the
Right.
board.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do that because apparently not every county has, it's fortunate to have a director. And I think it really comes
That's
down
right.
to time.
Well, and it comes down to the fact that we program our own elections. So imagine ES&S is programming for 70 other counties plus other states.
Oh, yeah.
These are the finer details that sometimes can get overlooked because
Yeah,
it's just aesthetics.
right.
So, yeah.
Right. But it's one of those things where you shorten somebody's name or something like that, and somebody else's name is not, and it's unfair.
So,
So I appreciate you putting the RP and just make that
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
We have to deal with that with that race.
that was the easiest way. And council member, we're going to do CM
oh, okay.
across the board when I haven't run the tapes now that we have all the city races on there, but we have a council member that is running for a JP office.
Mm,
And it was just easier
Yeah.
to do that one.
Yeah.
So those will be done as CM. And then under the state issues, so this first ballot that you're looking at, we're letting the issues just kind of flow with
Mhm.
how they fall on the ballot. So if you look at issue number 3 on the back page, if you'll see how it flows and then part of it's up at the top.
Right.
Okay, so because every ballot will be different with the layout of the names, that's going to be inconsistent throughout the
Mhm. Yeah.
entire ballot. So what we did was we have anchored issues to the back. So even if it is a short ballot, so like Boston, for instance, the issues will be on the back for every single ballot, but they will lay out in the columns, so we won't have to worry about half of it being on one side and everything. So we will anchor the issues on the back. Now, my plan for that was working wonderfully yesterday.
Uh-oh.
But issue 5, they are suing to get that back on the ballot.
Oh,
If that happens, I may have to do some rethinking, but my goal will be to,
Right now, you don't have it on here.
yeah. So my goal will be to rethink that, but ideally we want it like this, but
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Well, if what he said is true, that he has emails from Jester saying, yeah, that's okay. It's gonna be a tough sell to keep it off, so, I mean,
Yeah, so,
but you never know how that court's gonna rule.
no.
They are, if
Or
anything,
when.
Yeah.
unpredictable.
Well, so they're trying,
That Supreme Court too, they're going to.
yeah, and they're trying to get a ruling before the 20th because that's
Okay.
when the names are certified.
Yeah.
That's when the issues are certified.
Mhm.
So this may be the case where they certify it to us, and then as we get into the election, then they tell us that votes for that won't count and
Oh,
it stays on
sure.
the ballot. So we'll see.
Even though it's gonna
Yeah, that's.
throw a monkey wrench into everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, well, that's what they're asking in their law.
Mhm.
I didn't get a
Okay.
chance to read the whole article this morning, but yeah,
Ah,
they're asking
yeah.
that they at least get in order to
Move
put
it
it on.
on.
the ballot.
Yeah,
Then-
yeah.
so
And then
yesterday,
consider it.
Yeah.
my plan was this. It may change. So,
Oh, my
but,
goodness.
so yeah.
I like the idea of it being anchored. I think it's cleaner.
I do
Yeah.
too. But if you have a 5th one on there,
Yeah.
We'll play with it and kind of see.
I was gonna
So,
ask,
yeah.
could you still anchor it with
I
that?
think we can. I
Okay.
just need to
Okay.
take a look at some things. What I'm thinking is if we do anchor it, I think I can push, if you look at this Springdale ballot, which is the Springdale 23,
Mhm.
I think I may move unopposed
To the front.
to the end of
Oh,
the
okay.
municipals. And then issue 2 and 3, I think can fit in one column.
Mhm.
Then I would have issue 4, and I think issue 5 will
Yeah.
all fit. in-
Because it's not short.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
gonna be my initial,
Yeah.
I'm gonna work with it to see, so,
And
yeah.
I actually kind of like the candidates falling under the rest of the candidates?
We've always put them last in a lot of instances because we're working with space. But we will play with it. So if I move the unopposed candidates, I will move it to the very end of the candidates and then we'll
Start
Yeah,
with issue.
yeah.
Doesn't make it fit.
yeah.
I like him both ways.
Yeah.
You know all the issues and what they could look like, so obviously we trust your judgment.
But what the expectation will be, even if it is a short ballot and it appears as if issue one might be able to fit on the front side,
Yeah,
we're putting them
yeah.
Mm,
all on the back.
I
That's our
think that
goal.
makes it clearer.
I think so too.
I agree.
And we'll be meeting again later.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, we will.
Good. Right.
21st. So we should have an answer hopefully on the 20th.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the deadline, or
Yeah.
that's how that, unless they ask for an extension. That happens.
Okay. Early vote locations. How soon do we have to have these nailed down?
So September 4th is the
Okay.
deadline. Nothing has changed in this list. I just wanted to bring it back out for you. But we do have one potential issue.
Uh-oh.
So I did contact, the fifth floor to say, hey, we need the quorum courtroom for early vote for the general election. They let me know that there are 2 meetings scheduled during the time frame that we would need the quorum court. We cannot tear down and set back up.
No.
And if we are not in the county clerk's office, we must remain open. So we can't like close early or we
Mhm.
can't do any of
Right.
those things. So we would need to ask the county services to move their meeting, which is scheduled November 2nd. That is Monday, the last day of early vote. We would need to ask county services to move their committee meeting, and it's a committee meeting, and they are able to move those meetings, but we would need them to vote on it at their committee meeting at the end of this month.
Oh, gotcha.
And when is
Because-
that? Do you know, when is there?
It
Sorry.
is, I believe it's August 29th
Mm.
is their no, August 31st. August 31st, we would need them to formally
Mhm.
move their
Mhm.
county services meeting.
Is 115 downstairs still a potential meeting?
No.
Not with the cameras and the setup.
But
It used to be
But
without
they
everything
have
else.
moved committee meetings, and in fact, their finance committee meeting
Right.
that is meeting
Mhm.
to next week normally meets on Tuesday, but they have moved it to Monday. So moving the committee
Moving it on the
meeting
calendars.
Mhm.
is not.
In the same space.
The other one is the planning board.
Oh, yeah.
So the planning board also has a meeting at 5 o'clock on the Thursday of the last week. We would need the planning board to also move their meeting
Yeah.
as well. Now, the planning board has used room 115 in the past.
Mhm.
I've also offered, because you do have to have space for the public and you do have to
Mhm.
record and all of that. I've also offered our space because
Oh, yeah.
if in the
Yeah.
evening, it wouldn't be used or there's other spaces. So we would need the planning board to move their meeting. If those things don't happen, we would not be able to use the quorum courtroom.
Okay, so could we put in a formal request to, or do we need to go to those committee meetings to be put on the ballot to discuss those things? How do we?
So I've put in the notice to the fifth floor.
Okay.
So we'll see. JP Ecke is
Mhm.
the chair of the county services.
Mhm.
And then the planning board, I have included the planning director
Good.
in,
Who is that?
Sam Atta.
Okay.
So I've included the planning director in this.
Who
conversation.
coordinates the meeting rooms, the JP room schedule? Is that done by
It is done,
the staff?
yes, it is. And they are looped in on this email as well, Chang.
Okay,
So yes.
because you hold early voting in that forum courtroom just about every election, right?
Since
Mhm.
2016.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I
I
think-
think, and one of the
understand why
things
why those dates aren't chiseled in stone.
they should be,
you know.
One of the reasons 115 will not work is
Mhm.
because we have to have a sheriff down there for people coming in and out or whatever, right?
That was,
And
That was one of,
that was
that
a
wasn't one of our requirements. It was the courthouse suggested it.
Yes.
Sorry, it was a
yes.
suggestion.
but room 115 is not large
It's
enough.
just not going to work.
We
So-
have less machines, but the number of voters we have coming in and out,
Yeah.
it's just not feasible. And then there's the issue of transport with detainees going to court.
Right.
There's a whole,
Okay.
it's a massive problems.
So worst case scenario, if the meetings cannot be moved, we would have to go into the county clerk's office.
If they allow us, if they'll
No,
have us.
The clerk will.
Okay, she will. Okay.
Yes, but
How many machines?
5 machines.
Oh,
When we need
man.
15.
Yeah.
Right.
So that
Okay.
would pose a problem, but we have until September 4th.
Okay.
And so hopefully.
Okay.
we will-
Have you told them September 4th is the drop dead?
I don't know that I've told them September 4th is, maybe I'll have to
Okay.
look back
Okay.
in my original email, but I really think though, obviously, if the county services is going to move their meeting, if we make that
Mhm.
request for county services to move their meeting, they would need to do it at
The next,
this one.
August the 31st.
Yes.
Okay. Do we need to attend that?
I have a feeling they would be receptive
Okay.
to that because when I looked back all the way back to 2016, they have always
Mhm.
moved their
Okay.
meeting. They've either combined it with the finance committee meeting, which
Oh.
met the next week.
Yeah.
Some of the years, they even just canceled it altogether. One year, they actually canceled a quorum court meeting so that we could continue
Right.
to hold early voting.
Yeah.
So so it's not, it can be done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll just sit on pins and needles.
Call
Do that.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
it.
Okay.
Show up.
Yes, please
Yeah,
let us know
if
if
for
we
some
need
reason
to,
Yeah.
Need to
Yeah.
go and
if we
make,
need to be on the agenda or even what that deadline is for the August 31st meeting, considering today's the 6th, like I don't,
probably the week before.
okay.
So, yeah, they would need to add it to the agenda the week before.
Mm.
So can we do this? If we don't get an emailed response before that date, can we just go ahead and make that plan to try to submit something to be added to their agenda so we could speak and ask that request formally?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I like informal better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. the way
Yeah,
it goes.
and then-
Yeah.
But it is, I mean,
Well,
it
things
is one of
happen.
those things
Mhm.
where it has been considered appropriate in all of these meetings for us to retain the space. And going forward, it would seem to be as important.
Yeah. The courthouse is, it's the hours are a
Right.
requirement
Yes.
by law. But regardless of the number of early vote sites that we have, it is still the number one early vote site
Yeah.
that we have. It has over 10,000 votes, 10 to 15,000 votes that
Mhm.
go through there. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, keep us apprised of
Okay.
that.
Everything else looks good.
Everything else looks good. Yes.
Notice of election.
This would be our runoff sites. So we have potential for a runoff for JP District 15, City of Elm Springs Mayor, City of Springdale Ward 4, and City of Springdale Ward 4 and Ward 2. These would be the polling locations open inside those particular places. It's a total of 16 sites, if all
Right.
Mhm.
of them required a runoff election. So we would include this in our original notice of election for the general election.
Yeah.
The only two that are not required but suggested would be the Brentwood Community Building and the Ridgeview Baptist Church. Both of those are for JP District 15. They're not technically inside the district, which is the requirement, but the way JP District 15 is laid out,
Yeah.
those voters who would vote in that area, Brentwood is their normal polling place. Otherwise, they would have to come all the way to Elkins to come in to vote. And the same thing for those voters that live in that Ridgeview area.
So it's more of an accommodation, but a good accommodation.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So,
And the early voting for that is a week.
so early voting for that, we will only conduct in the county courthouse. It will be in the county clerk's office. Early voting is strange. It will be Tuesday and Wednesday, closed for Thanksgiving,
Oh,
open the
Yeah.
Friday after, and then Monday.
Oh, my
So we will
goodness.
have to coordinate
okay.
with staff for a Friday, but that also requires coordinating with the sheriff's office to make sure
Right.
that the courthouse is open, because normally it's closed.
Closed, right.
So, yeah.
I don't know if you, that's also historically, these kind of races, is that common, uncommon, or is it sort of a hit and miss proposition?
For,
Or having a runoff?
oh, it seems like this ward ones we typically do have.
Okay.
This is the first time I can remember a JP race with 3 candidates going into the general. So that one's kind of an unknown.
Okay,
So, yeah.
but the mayoral,
So this is the mayor, the current mayor is not running for election.
right, okay.
So they've got 3
That
candidates.
mixes it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. And when we had the city of Fayetteville, general election 2024, it was a 3-person race for
Mhm.
mayor,
Yeah,
and we ended up in a runoff election. So
Yeah.
that Ward 4, that race, I don't know. It kind of,
Bill,
yeah.
yeah,
So there's that Ward 4 Springdale, there are 4 candidates in that one. And they changed the rules. It used to be that you could win by 40% and then beat the next person by 20%, but they changed it and now it's 50% plus 1. So
Hmm.
these would be our runoff. Yeah.
I think that almost guarantees it.
Yes.
Well, and even if there's not, we have to plan like there will be, so
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
reserve the locations,
Yeah.
have a plan, and I'd much rather have it together,
Mhm.
an idea, and then not use it
Absolutely.
than need it and not have a plan and you're scrambling.
Yeah.
That's just,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I like the idea of having those 2 centers to accommodate voters. I think that's the goal.
I think so too, especially when you look at the map and that location.
Mm.
It's like, man, because the goal is for runoff election to make it as easy for voters to vote as it was in the general. If you consolidate polling places, which we could go into this JP
Yeah.
15 and say we're just opening 1 space.
We don't need to do that.
But I think that makes it harder for voters to know in a runoff election, where do I go? Because they're like, I went to Brentwood for the
Mhm.
first one.
Mm,
Yeah.
Why can't I go to Brentwood for this one? So.
Right,
And I think the only time we would consider that is that if you didn't have the staff or you didn't have the machine.
right.
Like that, when we would be forced to make a choice
Yeah.
of that nature.
Or if the site isn't available.
Right.
Now, the one that in that city of Fayetteville, Ward 4, the Covenant is the one that is technically inside that ward. Fayetteville Church of Christ is, I mean, like, here is Ward 4. It is right there
Oh,
on the line. But we will need to definitely verify that we have Covenant Church. If not, I'm going to have to look for a site inside Ward 4, and I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
we'll get with Covenant and make sure that they are definitely available for that.
Tell them to pray that there is no runoff.
Yes.
Okay.
And we won't need to make a
Questions
decision
about
on that until we get, okay.
that? Right.
I just wanted you guys to
Be
have
aware.
a look at
Mhm.
this, and we're going to go ahead and contact, because that way when I bring this
You've
to
got it.
you, I can say, oh, hey, Goshen Fire wasn't available, you know, because
Right.
it's possible that some of them might not be available.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, now we get down to the nitty gritty, huh? Election security procedures.
These, after, these documents were released,
Mhm.
I just thought maybe the commission might like an overview of kind of what we see, what we do in regards to our security procedures.
Mhm.
And so that first one, that voter registration and the poll books, I know that Arkansas is on this list. However, when you read the documentation, the supporting documentation,
So clear.
well, yes, it is so clear, but the reason we were on this list is because voting data was provided from the certain cities in Arkansas. But what that means is our voter registration lists are public information.
Right.
So this does not, just being on this list does not indicate that our systems were in any way compromised or that our systems were infiltrated by anything. It just means that an individual or group purchased, because it's what they would have done,
Mhm.
purchase
voting material, which is public
Yeah, I mean,
information.
anybody can buy that,
E-
right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I think the mere fact, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, Arkansas is on that list, but it is just saying that we were one that materials.
And
purchased.
at the same time, I mean, this report came out later, but earlier, Arkansas was identified as the state with the safest voting or election
Well, secure.
integrity. Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted, like I said, our name on this list does not mean
Doesn't
our
mean that.
voting,
Yeah.
our voter registration information was compromised.
Mhm.
It was just purchased, which anyone can do. The law allows for that. And the law allows for voters, for voter registration. That's why we have provisional ballots.
Mhm.
Is it allows a voter who goes in and if their name was removed from a list to vote a provisional ballot. There is paper trails for every registered voter.
Right.
So the clerk keeps a paper trail, not not just an electronic trail,
Yeah.
but a paper trail for every registered voter.
Doesn't give you much to go on here with all that redaction.
No, but I think all it is our name was
Popped up.
popped up there and it was, yeah,
It really doesn't mean anything, does it?
no, it doesn't.
I can see.
No, we couldn't, and we couldn't find Arkansas listed in any other of the
Oh,
release
good.
You know,
documents
people
either.
are gonna get a hold of this and try to make something out of nothing. Because there's a small but vocal group out there that thinks we ought to be
Yeah.
doing X's on a piece of paper and then hand counting these things.
Right.
So I don't know if there's something that you could, some way to address, you know, election integrity and security, just to sort of have that ready,
We do, I
have something like that.
do, I have a couple of different documents that for election security. I'm actually Fayetteville Library has asked me to come and talk
Oh.
about election security, so I'll be doing that in September as well.
Okay.
The League of Women Voters has asked Becky and myself to come and
Mhm.
speak, so we will be doing,
Out there, in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
You have those documents in a format that I could look at.
yes, it may take me a second to find them because we have done them.
Take 5 minutes.
Okay. We have done them in previous years. I may need to go back and kind of revamp it, but
refresh,
yes,
yeah.
but we do have a
Yeah.
definitely a starting
'Cause,
point.
yeah, that
with
was
them.
earlier this year that you're referring to, Renee. that they-
Yes,
And I think it was, Homeland Security.
I believe
Did
you're
the
right.
audit
Yes,
And said that we're one of the most,
yeah,
if not the most secure in
Right.
voting.
which seems counter to what that first document says, but
Yeah.
as Matt mentioned, anybody can go in and get a list.
Yes. And that's all that document says, is
Mm-hmm.
that it was purchased, it was
Mhm.
obtained, and it doesn't indicate that it was obtained by someone hacking into the system.
Political parties buy those things, these
Mhm.
consultants
Every
buy those things.
Campaign,
Yeah,
yeah,
so that you can get a postcard,
yeah.
you know, so
Uh,
not concerned about that.
So, and to get into Power Profile, which is where these are
Right.
housed,
Right.
they have a two authentication
Mhm.
process. So, and it's randomized. So
Yeah.
yeah, so.
Okay.
The next set of documents kind of talks about election results and, how that's in this document, how they could be the one vulnerable thing because you are emailing election results, but you're also transmitting election results.
Mhm.
But those are not what counties, the state use as your certification.
Right.
So anything that is sent out or that is done, because these kind of indicate that those could be manipulated, those could be done. We have hard copies
Yeah.
that the commission signs every step of the way for the election certification. And I think that's what this document also points out, is that while those are conveniences to the public to be able to have access to results, the actual certifications, the actual documents are kept as hard copies, which we do. So we start out with that zero tape, the commission signs the zero, and then when we do early and absentee, we print that, the commission signs, all those are kept and you guys sign off. So while we do ultimately send these to the state electronically, and they do have a website that has the results and all of that, those are all backed up by hard copies. And I think that was the important thing
Yeah.
that this kind of talked about, is that misinformation that could be out there for results or for anything like that. Really, a visit to the election office will produce
Mhm.
a hard copy of everything.
Your website, it's run, it takes, secured by the county
Mhm.
Yeah,
website?
it's a .gov. So, and that has an extra layer of
Okay.
protection. So, yeah.
Okay.
So.
And then we have links to other pages.
Right. Okay. Wonder how.
Okay, so this is basically for our information
Yeah.
and
It also talks about in here to, like, during ballot preparation and voting machine preparation, that's that LNA testing. So, and all of that too is backed up, so yeah,
and you keep hard copies of that every time.
yes. We even keep, as we're going through the election and we're creating these, different ballots so we can proof and all of that, we keep those too. Like, we keep everything until it's ready to be shredded. So yeah. The one thing I am going to do for the general election is, we've tried to collect signatures, and then I'm trying to type them in and all that sort of stuff. So when we were in Crawford County, I was like, they had this, and I was like, I can do that. And so we will have whoever wants election results, election night, if they scan this QR code, it takes them to a Google Doc, they put in their email address, and then I will take that to send out results. That will be so much easier than us trying to collect. Yes.
And decipher handwriting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So This,
And having a laptop up there and
Yeah.
all that.
so this
Good.
will solve that problem. We've already
Right.
done a little test run through with it, so it works. It is only for each election. So
Do
I'm
it.
not gonna maintain
Right.
a list.
You have those
I
on the
have-
website anyway, after the election has all been
I
certified.
do, but some people want them emailed out
Mhm.
to them and
Mhm.
everything. And this will be a way for, especially the public that's here.
Right.
Because the reports have gotten to be 20+ pages long.
Yeah,
And it's
we don't
not,
need to print all
we
that.
don't. And so this way, anyone who's here that's not currently on our list can just scan this QR code and get added to the list. So, yeah.
It does say that they assess the vote tabulation system difficult to manipulate on a wide enough scale to compromise the election. They're not connected to the internet or each other.
Yeah.
So, although that's 6 years old now, but I don't think anything's changed, has it?
No, it's the same, it's that same equipment.
You you anticipate that we'll get some updated information on this in the next couple of months or
We haven't seen anything from
patients?
No, but we went ahead and pulled everything and printed out all of the documents that were released and went through them to see if there was anything, especially my goal is to be ahead
Right.
of any questions that might be asked and to have the information so that we can confidently answer
Mhm.
how we proceed with that. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just making sure the public feels confident. So.
Okay, chain of custody.
So these documents, just for your, so you can see, are the many multiple documents that we use as part of our chain of custody. And it's important that when you're setting up your election and you're doing your LNA and you're getting your prep work done, that we're sealing everything, but we're recording those seals. And then we're providing those seal numbers at the polling location and they're being confirmed.
At
Or they're
that
being
place.
confirmed when they're brought back. And so every step along the way after LNA is done,
Mhm.
the equipment is sealed. The equipment numbers are recorded so that then when they go out, the equipment numbers are confirmed that this was, and so these are just some of the documents that we use to have that chain of custody show that it's signed off on and that we're doing our checks and balances throughout the process. Yeah, so it's really just kind of. And all of this that we have is available for the public to inspect.
Right.
Like after an election, we keep everything organized and everything is available, to see that people have signed off on it, how it was done.
Most of these forms you've developed.
Yes. Yes. these
In
are all-
order to demonstrate
Mhm.
that we are secure
Yes.
in this county.
Yeah, and it's our way of our checks and balances, because election night, when we are entering in
Mhm.
the results, we need something that we're comparing it to,
Right.
that we're not just reading in the sticks that came back from the polling places, but that we're looking at other materials from that polling place that said how many votes were there, so that when we're releasing numbers that night, we're showing that, that they are accurate.
Mhm.
So, but yeah. And our poll workers, are signing off on these things. So, yeah.
Yeah, they don't just pull these out of thin air.
I don't, but so that document,
What would be your thoughts on that?
I absolutely can. It doesn't have any, passwords or anything like that in it. I created this document for Saline County. course, you know, Saline County got sued because of the security, how they did
Yeah.
the field
Yeah.
and all of
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And they asked how we did our boxes.
Yeah.
And so I created this document for them, but no, I certainly I can create probably a page on our website that is election security that shows the different things that we do, for that chain of custody.
Crawford County had an issue a few years ago, didn't they? A
Yeah.
couple elections ago, there was
Yeah.
party took some absentee ballots home or something like that.
I think so.
Yes.
Drove to their house and
Yeah.
went to bed, I think.
So they were ballots.
I don't think it was intentional
No,
either.
so they were ballots that they had remade. So they were the ballots that wouldn't run through the machine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
part of the problem is
Huh.
for that county at that time, they counted in one location.
Oh,
but
that's
they
right.
stored
Yes.
In another location, and they used their personal vehicles to transport from one location to another location.
Yeah.
Which was the boat we were in for
Right.
many years. We would use a Penske truck and we would have to have sheets that showed this,
Yeah.
this was checked in, this was put in the truck, and then it was checked in the other place. So having our own space now where we're not having to transport makes a huge difference in how you do your chain of custody, but we still check everything
Mhm.
in, we still do that. But yeah, that was part of the problem, was they were having to move locations. So yeah.
Thought about this, but of course, I know you bring all the tabulated results from each location here and you have all the seals and everything. Are the
Mhm.
machines packed up and moved back to the warehouse that same night?
No.
Or they do that the next day?
The machines are done over the next couple of days,
Yeah,
but
okay.
what's in the machines at the time, so the express votes are just the express votes,
Yeah.
but the tabulators, once the stick is removed, the thumb drive is removed, there's nothing you
That's
can
just
do with
a
it.
dumb-
Yep.
just a dumb piece of
It
metal.
is, yep.
Right.
Basically, that
Expensive
stick
piece
is
of
the
equipment.
brain to it.
Yeah.
And basically you're removing the brain from it. So,
And
yeah.
the ballots are being put into a separate,
So the voted ballots
Yes.
are brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there's nothing that's left at the polling location that,
You're just leaving metal and circuit boards. there,
yeah,
okay.
basically.
right?
Okay.
Yep.
What do they get? They get put in a blue container or something,
The poll
ba-
books,
the
the
ballots.
ballots, yes, they're.
They're, they're
it's
in this
very
container.
expensive,
Yes.
but worth it. They are very expensive, but they're 100% worth it. The ballots come back
Yeah.
in these, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And they're not making these anymore? Is that what you said?
So when I looked on ESNS's website, I couldn't see to order
Oh.
those, but of course, other election companies have them. That is part of the grant that I did
Okay.
request.
Mhm.
So yeah,
These are ES&S equipment.
Mhm.
That's why they're so expensive.
yes.
That's exactly why they're so expensive.
Only the best.
Blue box.
Okay. Noticed a van over there at the warehouse, were they installing equipment?
They are, that was gonna be our building update. They,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Sorry.
Had that.
I saw that, I mean.
Yep, I have
what's going on
I have a
there?
building update for us, but
Okay.
I just thought for these documents, I know especially Matt, with you being new and really.
Yeah,
Alexis too,
Yeah.
you may not have seen all the various forms that we use for the
Yeah.
transporting of the materials, how we're documenting, how we're keeping track of everything. So, yeah. So,
And
I appreciate your thoroughness.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know the state does as well, because they usually take your forms and they disperse it across other counties that may not
Yeah.
have your tenacity and the time and the drive and the willingness to.
Experience.
Right. We're very lucky to have
Okay.
you.
Okay. Okey doke. Any more questions on that?
I'm good.
Shall we move on to
trying
7?
Familiarize myself with this.
well,
Forget
I
that.
thought you might appreciate seeing.
It'll take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just looking through some of the process,
Mhm.
because you need to have the process before you get an idea of where each one of these is crucial to
Yeah.
the way you do things.
Well, and like for the absentees, Matt's looking at that one right now. The absentees are returned by mail to Becky's office. And then she checks them in, and then we go and we pick them up and bring them here and we count them. But before we take them out of the clerk's office, we count. And
Yeah.
if she said she checked in 100, we count to make sure
There's 100.
there's 100 in there. We
Kind
count.
of do that on an ongoing basis, or she just hold them all until a certain day?
So we give her, I take her ballot boxes and we usually try and pick up at around 100, 150, because that's about how much a ballot
Yeah.
box will hold.
Yeah, okay.
So, so basically we'll go and we pick up, and I have a team of 2 that goes, she runs the roster. They count the ballots, they check the names off the roster, and then they sign that top part.
Okay.
Then when they get brought back to us on the first day of canvassing, we open that box up. We,
Count
even
it
though we
first thing.
counted it
Yeah.
once already, we counted again
Okay.
before we pass out and start canvassing. And then we count at the end to make
Mhm.
sure. So along the way, we count them multiple times.
Okay.
So yeah.
There were 2 people and it's always.
Yeah. Absentee ballots are the one area where mistakes can be made.
Yeah.
Because a human is counting.
Yeah.
When you're voting on the DS-200s, the DS-200 is machine and it is counting the ballots perfectly.
Right.
But we're human, so we count those multiple times. So yeah.
Okay, item 7, reimbursement.
Yes. So I have the reimbursements for the state for the primary and the primary runoff. The first one shows we are requesting $223,534.32 for the primary. I have to add in that 15,000.
Mhm.
They only give me so many spots for early vote.
Oh.
We have way more early vote workers
Mhm.
than what they allow me for spots. So I have to send in kind of like a supplemental
Gotcha.
list, and that's why it's manually added. So this is what we'll be seeking reimbursement from the state for.
That's a new total, and the 208 is outdated. I think.
Yes, it's the 223,534.
Just thought
Yeah.
about there, I wasn't sure.
Yep. And then for the runoff, we'll be requesting $52,121.39. The big discrepancy between what we spend at the county and what the state reimburses us for, we pay our poll workers $14 an hour and $16 an hour. They only reimburse us for $11 an hour, which means the county essentially pays that difference. The other discrepancy is the state will only pay for 14 hours at the polls. Our poll workers go and set up the day before. Our poll
Mhm.
workers sometimes will work 16 hours at the poll, especially if it is a very busy polling location. So the state only reimburses us for 14 hours. So sometimes I have poll workers who have worked more than 14, but I can only request 14.
No.
The other thing the state does not reimburse us for is our programming fees. They reimburse for all the other counties for ES&S programming fees, but they don't reimburse us at least some costs for that. I think they
They
should.
should, yeah.
What's the difference?
Like
I mean,
$20,000 to $30,000.
I mean, why would they reimburse some and not others?
Because they have so basically other states or other counties will have ES&S code their election and then they have a bill for it.
Right.
Since we do it in-house, we
Mhm.
can't bill them because we're doing it in-house.
Right.
So,
But then we also get some of the finer things.
Right. Oh,
Like,
there are
I mean,
advantages.
There's
Yeah.
those advantages for us coding
There's-
it and having a program and having you guys pay
But
for it.
I do think that at some point there can be a discussion.
Yeah.
And the other counties that are PYO also feel this
Right.
as well. There should be at least some reimbursement for the fact that we are programming
No
our
allowance,
own.
but
So
How soon do you need signatures on these?
I've got them. prepared. Yeah. So.
now would be good.
So
That would be helpful. You got a pen there that works?
Yeah, I know. I've got
I have-
extras.
And then in these, you'll see, this is all the supporting
gosh.
Oh.
So I have to submit receipts
Yeah.
for everything.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so. I can.
Wow. Well,
Go. That one?
all right. This
It's
is
just
the big
top
one.
page, yeah.
Okay.
So the programming is just folks down here in this office that do that.
Mhm.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're basically being penalized.
Yeah,
doing this.
exactly.
Who makes that decision? Somebody on the state election board? Or-
So they make rules
Yeah,
about reimbursements.
Yeah.
So this has been discussed at not previous meetings of the commission, but previous meetings with the state board.
yeah.
They have talked about changing the rules. They just have not changed the rules. So I think it would definitely be worth it to
Bring it up.
Yes.
I mean, it's still, I mean, it's ours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And, you know, I'm not
the second one.
unhappy that we're programming for
No,
ourselves.
the trade-off
Yes.
in a lot of ways is worth it, but it would be nice to receive some type of reimbursement. I also think too that the state reimbursing for only $11 an
Right.
hour. In reality, almost every county pays more than $11 an hour.
Mhm.
So.
Well, are they I mean, because
I'll go ahead and sign
costs
it.
have gone up tremendously in a lot of things.
Mhm.
Are they, would that have to be a legislative decision?
I don't know if that has to be a legislative decision or if it can be a rule change, but
Oh,
in
okay.
essence, it might become a legislative decision because basically they ask for the funding from the state.
Mhm.
Because basically the state is reimbursing, so the state would have to fund the primary cost at a higher rate for reimbursement at
Yeah.
a higher dollar amount.
Yeah,
Okay.
or connected to some of the other things
Yeah.
that they judge with higher costs. It goes up and down, sort of fluctuating or whatever. It
And
doesn't ever go down.
14 hours, really?
Yeah.
All that, so that means that you set up in 30 minutes,
Mhm.
which we know it takes 2 hours
Right.
to set up a polling
Right.
place plus.
Yeah.
So I think there's some adjustments, but any adjustment that is made obviously would be a cost
Mhm.
that the state would then be reimbursing for, and
Mhm.
that would be whatever,
Yeah.
is budgeted.
Right. Well,
Just in this meeting today, I've got about 3 or 4 things to. With the, state election board, would it be possible for the election? Maybe set up a little Zoom meeting, a team
Sure.
meeting with them, we could be here, discuss this with them.
Mhm.
And, put it to them face to face, so to speak, rather than
mm,
getting in our cars and driving.
right, going to Little Rock. You don't
So-
have any meetings with the state board in the next 2 months, do you?
No, sometimes our task force meets,
Oh,
but our
okay.
we haven't met yet this summer. But in the past, what we have done is after the general elections, we have had a regional meeting with commissions from across Northwest Arkansas,
Okay,
both with the state
Debrief.
board and with the new legislators
Right.
to
Okay.
talk about, and we definitely could look to do
yeah,
something along those lines
Right.
as well.
yeah,
That's a good plan.
got plenty of room to host it right here.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So,
And, Yeah, because I mean, like, there's not, I can't find anything on, any standards for storing election machines, how, what kind of, should it be climate control, not climate control, security alarms, that sort of thing.
Right.
You're just kind of out there,
Yeah. Well, I think part of the problem is that once they standardize something, if a county doesn't have the funds to it, they don't have the funds for it.
Right.
And then they have to figure out how to make that.
Well, I got a $100 million surplus down there, right?
Mm.
So they keep coming.
I've heard it. I just don't know. I've actually seen it.
Do a
So-
little carve out there,
Right.
Yeah, well,
But I mean, I'm comfortable with having a secure system, but
Mhm.
you have to put in work as you go along to
You-
keep it that way.
you still need to
Yeah,
respect
yeah,
that
not take it
system
for
and
granted.
take care of it. Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, if somebody just wants to wreak havoc, it'd be real easy to do it. So, I don't think. So we're not, like, yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Well, I noticed that the sheriff's deputies are parking over there too. So, and you've got canine trucks out there.
Oh,
So-
Must be having something going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like we're just really fortunate, where our location is. We do have constant.
right.
We're not in a backfield with no traffic.
Yeah.
And the traffic we have is law
Oh, yeah.
enforcement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah. That's good in the road,
hmm
but,
There's still things
Yeah.
to consider. And
Absolutely.
revisit and make more secure.
There's always room for improvement
Yeah,
and how we can do things better.
for sure. Okay. Would you like to give us a building update?
Building update. So today our badge doors and the cameras are being installed.
Oh.
So I'm assuming they have started over there. And then I don't know how long it will take,
Okay.
but yeah. So the South Campus building, and forever we will always call it the South Campus.
Right,
even though
right.
Now we are part of the South Campus, but when we were there. So the warehouse, the cameras are working on it. I have access to the cameras, so I can now see. So I have access to see both doors, for the warehouse building. When they put in the badge, doors over there, we'll have that controlled. And then when they come over here, they'll badge these doors and also add cameras
Okay.
here as well. So that is in the process. So hopefully that'll be done. I don't know how long it'll take them. I don't know if
Maybe
it's
this
take the
week or
day
something?
or what. So yeah,
Who's doing it? Is it
it's
a
that
outside?
company.
Okay.
Yeah.
coming out of Lowe's.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. So once that happens, I will then get with IT to make sure everybody's badges
Mhm.
work for the
Right.
doors. So that way everybody has
Do you
badge
need this
access.
back for now?
No, I think they can just take it and just
Okay.
go in and change the badge control for it. And then we have not heard anything back from the grant.
Mhm.
But when I did talk to the Secretary of State's office, apparently there were only 3 counties that applied for the grant.
Really?
So I think that means that definitely we will be getting grant
Full
money.
amount.
Yes.
Not
So-
even just we would probably get the grant and maybe the full amount that we requested.
Right.
Because typically those
Maybe we should have
funds.
requested more.
I know.
So we'll see, but
Yeah.
but the fact that only 3 counties,
Wow.
I
actually-
don't know what the other counties requested. Like, was there a total amount of all the?
I don't
okay.
know. I just know that, that short time frame was what
Mm.
Mhm.
caused it, because they had gone to several counties and did assessments, but then when it came out basically that week of the 4th of July to turn them in, only 3 counties got theirs turned
Wow.
in. So we were one of those
Okay.
counties.
We're appreciative
yeah.
of your hard work because we know that
So,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have been able to be done.
yeah. And then the other building update I have for you is the newspaper had said the tour of buildings was going to be on Friday. It is not. It is on Saturday.
Ah.
So I don't know if the commission
This Saturday?
this
Okay,
Saturday.
what time?
I don't know.
Okay,
So.
awesome. Not that, there's nothing against you. It's,
So
okay.
the way the tour will be is they're going to start, basically on the other end
Okay.
of the buildings,
Okay.
up towards the north part. And then they will make our way down here.
Okay.
They think that they will be at the South Campus, at the election buildings noonish.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, a time. I have no
Okay.
idea an exact time.
Okay.
But if the commission,
Mhm.
all the commission want to be here, I will need to call a
Right.
meeting.
Even if there's two of us, we still have to
Yeah.
have a
Yes,
meeting.
even if there's
Exactly.
two of us, I'll need to call a meeting. So
So,
what is your all's thought process on
I
Saturday?
think you call a meeting and if we
Yes.
can get here, we get here and,
mhm.
it'll be short notice. I guess you'll have to use the short notice.
Well, so I can call the meeting today
Today.
because
Yeah.
it's a 2 hour. I can call
Right.
the meeting today and I can say that we're meeting at 11.
But yeah, we could do 11 and I mean,
Well, so I don't,
10? I
so
don't
here's my
know.
question. So if we call the meeting at 10, could we like be here at 10, call it to order and then put it in recess until,
yeah.
and that way,
yeah,
because
yeah.
if they show up at 10 and we don't call the meeting till 11, I don't
Right,
want to
that's a
be,
good point.
I'd rather us be,
Early.
mm-hmm.
What time are they starting?
They're starting at 8 o'clock, I believe.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So,
might be here within a couple hours.
yeah.
They might, yeah.
Yeah.
Or they, I mean,
I would even just put it at 9:39.
that's, yeah.
And then, because we can, correct me if I'm wrong, we can still do Zoom and,
So the way I'm gonna do it
Yes,
is we
that's
have to, so we only use the Zoom
Mhm.
if we think one of the commissions won't be here.
oh,
So if for this type of
Mhm.
meeting, I don't think we would want to
Okay.
do like a Zoom invite where someone can,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, no, that's true.
Okay.
yeah. So we can call the meeting at 9:30,
okay,
convene,
okay.
then recess until
Mhm.
they arrive.
Bring something to do.
Yeah. So, or, yeah,
Or your bags.
yeah. So, but yeah, the director thought that it really would be around noon. But you never
Who
know.
can tell? Yeah. I mean, a lot of it depends on what questions they're asking on other premises.
And that was,
And
yeah.
how long that would take, but I kind of feel like we need to be here.
Mhm. Absolutely, I agree.
And that's why I hadn't currently called the meeting yet,
Yeah.
because when I told you guys Friday, I was just using what I had read in the newspaper.
Mhm.
And then we got an email, a countywide email went out
Mhm.
saying that it was Saturday. And so I thought, well, since we were meeting today,
Mhm.
I would just find out what the pleasure of the commission was.
Yeah.
So, okay.
We'll go ahead and call
a
one,
meeting, and then, so what time?
recess, 9:30.
9:30, okay.
And then, maybe hang out for a while and see. Can we get updates?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you work out something with her to text you?
Yeah, I'll
on
check with,
progress?
yeah, I'll check with Angela. and
Thanks for
see if
giving
I
up your
can-
Saturday.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, I had wanted to be here just
Yeah.
because, yes, it is the county building, but it's our building.
That's
You
right.
know, and so, you feel this kind of like,
I mean, you're spending half your life here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You think
So-
about
He
it,
doesn't have a bed back there yet, but
but,
Well, when it's snowing,
Yeah.
she might.
yeah.
So-
I'm not convinced pushing this building out that way is gonna be workable
yeah.
once they get the engineers looking at it.
Yeah.
Mm,
they also did come, an architect did come and take a tour of this building and
separately.
the building over there to
Yeah.
see about putting them together. I have not seen anything else from
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
2 weeks ago,
Okay.
maybe, I think. But one thing that was said, to the architect was to bid it as two different things. One, like a complete thing, like taking the whole south warehouse and moving it over here. and the ADA.
Oh, yeah.
This second bid would be just the ADA.
Oh,
So, because that has to be done. I mean,
yeah, it
that's-
does.
Yeah.
It should have been done before we ever moved in here.
We're just wide open for a lawsuit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And the
absolutely.
count, they know that.
If they're thinking about it, they do.
So, yeah.
And it's our job to bring it to their attention.
Yeah,
So,
once again.
yeah, so that's what I have. So hopefully I'll let y'all know about the badges when
Okay.
that,
Matt, you're bringing donuts?
Well, in fact, we might have badges on Saturday.
Bear
Yeah.
claw, I'm a bear claw guy.
Okay, other business. We need to talk about, we did get, did you guys get the email from, Bernetta, I think it was, about the ID and how they're having to, form some rules or something about ID. I did get mine on the phone.
so, okay. So it's interesting that y'all got that email.
I didn't get it.
I didn't
Oh,
get
did you
it.
not?
No.
You're special.
So,
Well, you are special, but, oh, from who? Sorry.
so what we're talking about is.
This is on my,
Your-
Apple Pay.
Yes. So when the state legislature passed the law that said digital ID were accepted,
Mhm.
at the time, the Revenue Office only had mobile ID as the one single app that you
Right.
could use.
And that was a pain.
So the mobile ID, when all the poll workers went through poll worker training, the mobile ID was presented as the digital form.
Right.
What happened was we listened to the state board because a case was brought.
Oh.
So what happened was a voter who had used Google or Apple Pay or whatever it was for their mobile ID, when that voter came in to vote, the poll worker was like, I don't know if I can accept that ID because it wasn't the one that they had learned about
Mhm.
during poll worker
Right.
training. So the voter left and then
Without voting?
without voting,
provisional.
for
Oh,
all of that.
gosh.
But it was more so, I think the poll worker said, I don't know if I can, and then the voter just left. You know, sometimes
Yeah,
voters
yeah.
don't give you the opportunity to give them a provisional.
Yeah.
So the voter did come back, the voter did show the ID and then filed a formal complaint with the State Board of Election Commissioners. So through that process of the complaint that had been filed with the state board, they discovered that the mobile ID was not the only way that it works, that you can do Apple, Google, or Android.
Okay.
So what the state basically, when they sent that email
Mhm.
out, is saying for our poll workers, we need to let them know that it's not just the mobile ID, that it is those other 3 apps can be used.
Right.
We already have supervisor training set up for the last week of September, and that will be a topic of training that we will use for our supervisors, and then we will update our poll worker information as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you say you didn't get this?
No, but Becky sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
you
did get, I
a
got
copy
it
of
from Becky.
Will
I
you,
didn't
will you
get it.
send it to them,
Yeah,
please?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it from Becky's office, but yeah.
Well, I seem to recall that I tried the Arkansas app and I went, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they've moved forward with the Apple wallet. I guess all of the
All of them,
different
Apple,
places with
Google, and
wallets.
I guess the Samsung or
It
Android.
makes more
one. Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
You're using that on a regular basis for paying for things, for
Right.
other, you're not,
No.
for other
said-
documents?
Yeah.
I.
But they want our poll workers to
Yeah.
be aware
Yeah.
that they can take that. And so when we do our supervisor training,
That'll be. part
that
of
will
it.
be part of our
Okay.
supervisor training and our updated materials that we send to the
Super.
poll workers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I have the Arkansas ID and that.
Yeah.
It's not user friendly.
No.
And it doesn't look pretty.
Yeah. And I
But it
mean,
works.
you have to,
works.
you have to search on your phone and
Mhm.
try to remember now, what is that thing called?
Mhm. And then your password.
Yeah, because it's mobile ID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But am I gonna have to do this whether I want to or not? I just, I'm a badge.
Yeah.
Sounds like something.
Yeah, no.
very math.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
We have audience members too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
next thing.
Mhm.
Are we finished with all the business, other business, other things? Audience, if you've got something to say, now's the time to enter in. Anything? No?
Everybody's happy.
All right, we've answered all your questions then. Okay, this meeting is adjourned.